On tonight's installment of making stuff with other stuff, I got a little ambitious yesterday, and I am getting my old toolbox kind of cut up, and I made it kind of a chop mod and ditched that drawer that I completely busted out. But I don't know, I got to do something with this, whether it goes in the garage or basement, or maybe I'll just put it on Marketplace and see if I can get $100 for it, kind of thing. I also, in this area, had my first welding table that I built when I was like in high school, and I've kind of held on to it all these years just because it was a good flat surface that I bought and made and couldn't justify getting rid of. But I decided it's just been collecting junk for a long time, so I cut it all up. So this big, like 3x8 piece, 1/4 inch plate is now ready to be made into stuff. And I cut some legs off of it, and I scavenged some big pieces of round tube. So in the midterm of it, I realized, well, that's where my chop saw's been for the last 4 years. So now I don't really have a place where my chop saw lives. So I decided that I need a chop saw stand. And fortunately, I collect junk. So I have stuff to make a chop saw table out of just junk laying around my shop. I don't know if you can get the overall effect here, but I'm trying to clean up the shop a little bit. I got a lot of stuff that needs to just go because I'm running out of square footage in here, and I can't get a new shop. I gotta make do with this amount of area, and I got some bigger stuff that I'd like to get going on. Here's my grocery shopping list of stuff that I've scavenged up that I'm gonna be cutting up to make a chop saw stand. So this is my chop saw. It's just one of those Evolution dry cut saws. I've really liked it. It's worked out great for me. I've been through a handful of blades now at this point. I can't even tell you when I got this. It's been a while. I also, pro tip, if you want to feel good about yourself, put a date on there when you put that blade on, so that you can see that you got your $100 and something worth out of it, because these carbided blades, not cheap. So I like that saw a lot. Works out good for what I need. Most of the time I'm not making like a million cuts, so it works out good. If you're cutting a lot of stuff, it's nice to have a bandsaw, but this gets me by for the most part, and I have access to a nice big bandsaw at work. So I came across some sheet metal that I was cleaning up, and it's been kind of kicking around for a while, so I decided I was gonna make this all out of some sheet metal that I had laying around for this top. But I got bored last night and drew up kind of a cool pattern to dimple dye some stuff on, and I think it'll look nice. I'm gonna use one of the old legs off of my table, just some big 4-inch, I don't even know, welded seam tubing for the stand end of it, and one of these. Quite honestly, the best stand that you can get is just a old semi-drum. So go find you a trucking company in the area, and they're gonna have a 40-yard dumpster full of these things. They're by far the best stands that you can get. They weigh a ton. I actually have my little Bridgeport vise on one that I use, and I don't know if you can see in the back here, excuse the mess, but my tubing bender's on one back here. I also need to cut out some gussets for that top, so I gotta mark those out. I found one of these big discs. I bought a bunch of these in bulk at one point, and I did because they were just 1/4-inch plate and they were cheap. So I might use this. I'm undecided. My shop was throwing out a bunch of these big steel parts that we made some stuff for, and I got a bunch of this stuff laying around. It's got a bunch of holes in it, so it's kind of not good for a whole ton. I'm gonna chop these up. I think I'm gonna use these in favor of this big plate. This is my circle making jig. It's nothing special. I made this up a while ago. It works pretty decent. On a 13.5-inch circle, 13.5-inch circle, so I need 6 3/4. That'll be way too much. Too much. Boom, good enough. Bend this a little bit because I kind of went at it like a rabid monkey, but you'll get the idea. Lid. Boom. Whoa-pow! Look at that. Whoa-pow! Go a little bit over. Wow. Very nice. Got this bottom disc cut. I ended up grinding it because, I don't know, I figured it'll look a little bit nicer. Ground some flats on the back. Put on that brake drum knife. Cut up these. I got those all ready to go. This is my tabletop. And I'm going to lay out this pattern. I'm going to punch these in and put some holes in this for some dimple dies. All right, kind of a complicated setup. that bottom plate's just pretty thin, so I'm trying to keep it all nice and square, and if it ends up a little bit warped, it ends up a little bit warped. It's just for my chop saw, so I think that'll be okay. I'll be putting these in like this, and yeah, I think it's gonna look nice. Phone died, pretty much in the same spot I was, but I ended up adding a band around this, basically just around this edge, just so the saw doesn't fall off while I'm, you know, using it. I'm just gonna weld this on, tack it on in a few spots, and I think this is gonna wrap up this section. I still have to put some holes in the base plate, so all right, here we go.